know when we're live.
We are live.
Thank you very much. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Grants Committee meeting for February 13th, 2023. My name is Kathy Daigle-Gammon, and I am the chair. I'd like to call the meeting to order and do our land acknowledgement that the Halifax Regional Municipality is located in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and the traditional lands of the Mi'kmaq people. The municipality acknowledges the peace and friendship treaty signed this territory and recognizes that we are all treaty people. We'll do the roll call. So welcoming new to the committee is Councillor Becky Kent.
Hello, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to say hi and look forward to the work we're going to do together.
Sweet. Councillor Lindell Smith may be joining us a little bit later. And Councillor Lisa Blackburn also was in another meeting and will be joining us shortly, she hopes. Our vice chair is Alana Baxter. Good morning, Alana.
Good morning, everyone.
Joseph Allen is also going to be a wee bit late. Stefan Luden. Good morning, Stefan.
Good morning, everyone.
Leona Milne. Didn't see Leona yet. Nope. Okay, she might be joining us later. Alex Handyside sends his regrets. And we also have another new member, Io Alda Jebi. Close.
Yeah, pretty close. Thank you, Councillor. Good morning, everyone. And I look forward to the opportunity to work with you all and to serve on this committee. Thank you.
Okay. Welcome. And I just see Joseph Allen. I see the name. Are you here?
I am.
Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be back. Nice to see everybody and some new faces.
Awesome. We also have with us our staff. New to our committee, it will be Elizabeth McDonald, a legislative assistant, who's already keeping me well in good order. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Hi, everyone. Good morning.
Good. And Krista Vining is doing, she's the acting deputy clerk, and she's doing some backup support for us today. Hi, Krista.
Good morning.
So there we go. We've got our agenda. It was sent out in advance. The first item on our agenda is the election of vice chair. This actually wasn't on our agenda review when we met, but the first meeting of the year is when we do the election of the vice chair. Did everybody see that on their agenda? I know mine didn't update, and I just want to make sure everybody's seen that so they're ready for this conversation. Awesome. So I'll open the floor then for nominations for the position of vice chair. So any nominations for the position of vice chair? Stefan?
I'll nominate Alana Baxter.
Thank you. Alana, do you accept?
Thank you so much. You nominated me a couple of years ago, too. I will be moving to Cape Breton, likely in June, but I so appreciate your vote of confidence.
I'm green with envy you're moving up to Cape Breton.
So I take it then, Alana, you're not going to accept the nomination for the duration?
I decline on that very respectfully.
Thank you. We appreciate that and appreciate all the work that you've done as vice chair too. Appreciate that. So are there any other nominations for vice chair?
I'll self-nominate.
Thank you, Joseph. That'd be great. Is there a seconder?
I'll second that, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Joseph, well, I guess you accept the nomination if you're self-nominated then, eh?
Yes, indeed.
Are there any other nominations for vice chair? We need to do this 3 times. That was the second. For the third and final time, are there any other nominations for vice chair? Hearing none, welcome to the role of vice chair, Joseph Allen. Thank you.
Wonderful. I have some big shoes to fill.
Oh.
Sounds great. So then we move on and get Our next is the approval of the minutes then of November 14th, 2022. Any errors or omissions? No, seeing none, could we have a motion to approve the minutes as circulated, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Stefan. Is there a seconder? Alana, thank you. All those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The approval of the order of business and the approval of additions or deletions are next. So Elizabeth, our lovely legislative assistant, are there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Hi, there are no additions or deletions from the clerk's office.
Thank you. Can we have a motion then, please, to approve the order of business?
I'll move that.
Councillor Kent, thank you very much. A seconder, Ayo, did I see that?
Yes.
Great. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. So our business arising out of the minutes? There are none. Call for declaration of conflict of interest. Hearing none, we can move on. Consideration of deferred business, there is none. Correspondence, petitions, and delegations. Elizabeth, do we have any correspondence?
No correspondence has been received.
Do we have any petitions?
We do not have any petitions.
And we have no delegations and no presentations. Excuse me. Items brought forward, there are none. So we move on to staff reports. And the first is the less than market value lease, Homes for Independent Living, Nova Scotia. Our staff that is with us today to support the discussion is Sean Woodard. Welcome, Sean.
Hi, thank you. Good morning.
Yay. Would anyone care to put the motion on the floor for discussion? Thank you, Councillor Kent. Did I see you raise your hand there?
You did, Madam Chair. I'll put that motion on the floor that the Grants Committee recommend that Halifax Regional Council approve and authorize the CAO to negotiate and finalize a less than market value lease agreement with Homes for Independent Living, Nova Scotia, located at 20505 Oxford Street, Halifax, as per the key terms and conditions set out in Table 1 of the staff report dated February 12, 2023, and direct the mayor and municipal clerk to execute the necessary agreements. So moved.
Is there a seconder for that, please?
I'll second.
Thank you, Joseph. Councillor Kent, would you like to start the discussion?
Actually, no, I'm going to defer to others for now because you might have a little more information on this one. I'll just say that I was glad to see this. Homes for Independent Living has certainly proven to be a well-respected and valued space in our community. So I'm certainly happy to hear from others and weigh in on the decision. Thank you.
Great. Sean, would you care to maybe just do a quick recap for the members of the committee? I know we always read the report, but it's nice to hear a little verbal update.
Well, there's not a lot of diversion from the report itself. As already stated, the Oxford, or the Home for Independent Living located on Oxford, has been around for 40 years. It seems to be a very contributing member of the community. It says specifically for adults, it talks about adults, but I think it's more slanted for the recovering male gender that it seems to be kind of doing that, but they're opening it up to obviously for a variety of different uses. Speaking with the members there, it is a very critical and important factor in our community, and I'm happy to have negotiated that lease for them.
Thank you very much, Sean. I don't see anybody in the chat with a question or comment. Shall we call for the question? Oh, Councillor Kent.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I'm in the agenda, the schedule where the reports are, and I can't see that report. Did that come separately?
Sean,
I'm seeing
I'm not sure which center, so.
I'm not seeing an email attachment for 9.1.1.
I
Yeah.
believe it said to be circulated on the agenda. It's that was what was stated on the agenda.
So who would that have come from? So I can just look at it one more time quickly.
Sure.
I am just taking a look here. Just hold on one moment there. It is on the Halifax website as well. Let me just take a look.
What was sent to the committee members though, Elizabeth?
I haven't been able to find it either.
Oh my.
No, I was right. It says it's supposed to be circulated. And it will be provided once available, but that's all it says in the email.
Actually, yes, you're correct. I'm just looking at my emails here, and I think that one we received a little later than the other items. So that's why when we released the agenda, it was to be circulated.
So,
Chris is
Madam
gonna
Chair,
pop in here.
Chris Devining, Acting Deputy Clerk. We had sent that out to members on Friday through the calendar invitation as an update. And that was done at 12:08 in the afternoon on Friday, February the 10th. But that said, I apologize if members didn't receive that update. And I'm certainly happy to provide the direct link to that report in the chat. And the other thing is, if members need additional time, they could always look to defer this matter.
Madam Chair, can we just have a little bit of insight from the staff as to what the implications of any deferral might be?
Yes, that's exactly where I was going to go next, Councillor Ken. Thank you. So Sean, the impact of that?
I'm not sure that impact at all, to be quite honest.
Okay. Then let's defer the item. If the committee members haven't had a chance to read it, then we shouldn't be making a decision.
No.
If there is a Madam Deputy Clerk and Legislative Assistant, if there is an issue on the impacts, then we can maybe see about a special meeting of grants to be able to get this moving forward if there's an issue about waiting to the next meeting. How's that? Committee members be all right if we needed to do a special meeting for this to move it forward?
Can I just offer something here?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm just taking a quick look at it, and the discussion piece is that Corporate Real Estate has negotiated a 25-year lease for 25 years.
Yes.
And this is another new lease agreement. Can I just have confirmation that this is relatively the same thing and it's just a renewal for another 25 years? Because if it's just that, I'm not convinced that for a lot more further deliberation has to have happened if it was for me anyway. And I mean, I can only speak for myself. I just needed to have eyes set on this report. It's only a 3-page report, and it goes 4-page, and it goes right to the heart of it very quickly. So if staff can just sort of give me a better sense of, is this really just exactly that? It's a renewal. The last lease went well, and this is just renewing it, then I'm ready to vote today.
So you're correct that this is based on a renewal. It would have been expiring this year, and on their 40-year lease. We are now doing a few of the kind of land and building or land leases that we are renewing now. It seems the precedent is for about 25 years for these type of organizations. They pay they're looking after their taxes and their responsibilities for upkeeps. And we just charge them the nominal dollar amount to keep it going forward. So there's no surprises in this. It's very similar to the old lease in terms of conditions. The only difference it would have been is that it's now modernized to a contemporary legal format with any clauses, insurance conditions that we may need that are more current to today's environment than they were 40 years ago.
Yeah, that satisfies me. I can only speak for myself, so perhaps if there are others that would like to offer something.
Let's put it in the chat to see if anyone has any other questions, or if you put your hand up, I can probably see. There's not a lot of us here today. I think the problem was that when it came out on Friday, it was that here's the public agenda. So it wasn't plain that if you clicked on that, you would see the reports. So with motion, but I am hesitant if members of the committee, especially with some new members, if they haven't been able to read the report.
So I'm not hearing if I could, Madam Chair.
Yes, please.
Because I'm not hearing anyone saying that they have a problem and nobody's actually put a deferral on, I'm okay with calling for the question, but I would defer as well to your preference as the chair. I think as well you can defer it.
Okay. Why don't we put in the chat if you're prepared to vote, or if you would like more time to be able to read the report, and we will go with the majority. So I've heard from one person. I can see that's prepared to vote. Councillor Kent is prepared to vote, so that's 2. I'm 3, but I also had the opportunity to read it, so I feel that way. Another person is okay. Looks like we've got everybody then. Oh, and so, you know what? As long as we have one person who would prefer to defer, then I would ask for a motion to defer, please.
So motioned. So
Is there a
moved.
seconder? Seconder?
I'll
To defer?
second.
Thank you, Joseph. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Oh, sorry, Stefan, one person opposed? Yes, okay. One opposed. Motion is carried. Thank you. We'll move on, and we'll make a commitment to the committee that we will not be in this position again. Our sincere apologies. The next item on our agenda then is less than market value lease for the Back to Sea Society, which I do know everybody saw. It was in our package. So the staff member who was here to support any questions is Tara Legg.
Good morning.
Welcome, Tara, and thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Would anyone like to put the motion on the floor in order to start the discussion?
I can put the motion.
Thank you, Joseph.
Oh, these are always so long. Okay. It is recommended that the Grants Committee recommend the Halifax Regional Council authorize the Executive Director, Property, Fleet, and Environment to negotiate and finalize a less than market value lease agreement with the Back to the Sea Society for the premise located at 140 Alderney Drive, Dartmouth, as per the key terms and conditions set out in Table 1 in the discussion section of the report, and direct the Mayor and Municipal Clerk to execute the finalized less than market value lease agreement.
Sir, a seconder, please. Alana, thank you. Any discussion on the motion? And before we do that, Tara, is there any kind of synopsis that you would like to provide to the committee?
Sure, I can give you a quick rundown. The Back to the Sea Society is a group that focuses on public education, hands-on learning of local marine life and ocean protection. 2017, they started a pilot project for a miniature aquarium, which was located at the Alderney Landing Events Plaza. As many of you may be aware, the little shed type building has been moved around the plaza several times. With the increased volume of events that are happening, which is a good thing for downtown Dartmouth, it has impacted their aquarium. So they were looking for a different location where they can have access at any time and the events wouldn't impact their customers or participants. After they had several discussions with HRM Parks and Recreation of alternative locations, such as Ferry Terminal Park. Ferry Terminal Park was rejected because of the impacts it would have on the park and the infrastructure that would be needed there. They moved on to 140 was a proposed site, and after viewing it with the group, they realized that this would be a benefit. It is larger than their current location, but it allows for parking. It has pedestrian flow. It's close to the waterfront, and it would let them grow with their programming with a washroom and office facilities inside. So it is a 5-year lease at less than market value. The base rent is $1 per square or $1 per annum, and they would be responsible, excuse me, responsible to pay their property taxes, responsible to pay all of their operating costs such as utilities, heating, lighting, things like that. They have other responsibilities such as general repairs and maintenance, cleaning of their washrooms and their space, pest control, life safety, things like that. HRM would continue to be responsible for the building, such as structural, any of the building systems, lighting, plumbing, heating, those kind of things. They also have been upgraded for our current insurance requirements, $2 million coverage for general liability, waiver of segregation. They are a nonprofit group, so they would have directors and liability insurance. Early termination, so if by chance this didn't work out for them, or if by chance HRM did need the facility for something else, there is a 6-month early termination. They do have 2 parking spots designated to the group, and a few special clauses, such as if they want to use Martins Park, which is the surrounding Greenland area there, they would have to book that through HRM facility scheduling.
Right.
And they would have to make sure that any of their filling or emptying of their tanks abides by all environmental laws.
Thank you very much, Tara. Excellent synopsis. Councillor Kent, I see you have.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that was really great, Tara. I had the pleasure of meeting with the folks from Back to the Sea a couple of times. They've done some interactive workshops and such around some of the other communities, certainly within District 3. And to be honest, it's been really impressive. And the conversations that I've had have been very thoughtful and well strategized and well thought out. The connectivity that they've had has been solid. They've executed sort of every step, and it really is quite impressive. So I'm really pleased to see that them get to this stage. I think it'll be a great addition to downtown Dartmouth. I know there's some interest as well that whatever they do down here, it could actually be a really good model for some other locations within the municipality. We're a seaport that has active many communities who have members who live and work in and around the sea. So I think this is a really, really positive step for downtown Dartmouth. I'm happy to support this.
Awesome. Anyone else or comments? Shall we call for the question?
Question.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Nay? Hearing none? Motion carried. I'm sure they're going to be thrilled. The next item, the next item on our agenda, and thank you very much, Tara. Appreciate that. Proposed Grants Committee 2023 meeting schedule. Again, that was in the link that was sent to us on Friday. So our meetings are February 13th, March 13th, April 17th, May 8th, June 12th, July 10th if required, September 11th, October 16th, and November 20th. And that's a change due to November 13th being Remembrance Day being observed. So any concern, or would someone like to put a motion to approve our schedule as presented there?
I have a couple questions.
Great. We're going to put the motion and then
Sure.
put the motion on and then we'll discuss. How's that, Joseph?
Sure, I'll move.
Great.
So one sec here. All right, the Grants Committee approves the proposed 2023 meeting schedule as presented.
Seconder, please. Ayo, I think I saw you there first. I'm gonna put my eyes up. So great. Joseph, floor is yours.
So when we have larger, more in-depth meetings, I think last year we proposed that we put them in a physical environment, in-person environment versus a virtual. I just want to get everyone's thoughts on doing that again this year.
Yeah, that's there in the beginning of the motion there. It says the location meetings may be held virtually or in person, depending on the committee's needs. The meeting locations will be posted on each meeting's agenda. and where it could be found on the HRM website.
Yeah, it was more so trying to get like a sense from everyone if people are comfortable with in-person meetings versus virtual. I know the last couple times we've done in-person meetings, they've communications kind of been a week or two before, and it's been via email. So I was trying to get a sense of everybody's comfortable, how comfortable everybody is doing in-person meetings with coming out of COVID, and also people's schedules reflecting on that as well. So
okay. Well, let's go around the screen. How's that? Councillor Kent, I see you're up there, so we'll put you first.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. So, yeah, I'm happy with in-person or virtual, whatever works out. And so anytime at all, it's, yeah, good for me. The second piece, if you don't mind, I would like, should I just wait and speak to another issue after? Okay,
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Good, thanks. Stefan, your thoughts on in-person or virtual?
I'm comfortable with both, with a preference for virtual.
Okay, great. Io?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with both. Yeah, I'm okay with both.
Okay. Alana?
I'm also good with both.
Okay. For new members of the committee, I will say what we did in the past year is that if it's a relatively light agenda, then we've done it virtually. But if we felt that it was a heavier agenda, especially going into budget or where there have been the approval of the recommendations around the community grants, then it was a heavier agenda, and people felt being in person worked well for when it was a heavier agenda. So that's what we did in the past there. Io, thank you.
Yeah, Madam Chair. I guess my question would be, how much notification would we have if it's going to be an in-person, so people can be able to kind of organize their schedule?
Yep.
So.
Excellent. Good question. Predominantly, it's been about 2 weeks notice. Our legislative assistant might be able to be is new with us, so I might defer to Krista and ask that, but mostly it's been at least 2 weeks notice. It would be shorter only if something came that was more timely, but I'll defer to Krista.
Hi, yes. So the location of the meeting, whether to hold virtual or in person, is something that is considered at each agenda review meeting as part of, the chair working with staff, as well as the vice chair attends these meetings. So we typically try and meet with the chair 2 weeks prior to the meeting date to set the agenda, and then the agenda would go out the week prior to the meeting. So we will do our utmost best opportunity to provide all information to the members in advance, and make sure that you can plan accordingly, because another factor that we do take into consideration is ensuring that we do have quorum. So if we know that in person, we could have issues with quorum, we take those factors into consideration as well.
Is that okay there, Io?
Yeah, just a follow-up to that. So
Sure.
in a case where someone is unable to make it in person, is there an option for hybrid participation?
So at this time, hybrid is not an option for calling in. Right now, our Administrative Order 1 says that members must be seen and heard either in a in-person capacity, but also virtual. So we currently are limited in terms of what is available to members. That said, if a member is not able to attend, they could still listen to the meeting virtually, but of course, they would not be able to participate if it's in person.
Okay, thank you. Joseph, I would love to hear what is your preference around the virtual and in-person?
Oh, I always have a preference.
Now you brought it up,
so.
but you didn't get a chance to express how you felt.
It's quite all right. I appreciate that. Thank you. My preference is in person. More so, it's a personal touch on something I appreciate, but
Right.
but I have to be respectful of people's schedules and the transportation available to each person as well, right? So absolutely. So either way.
Okay. Then we'll move on in the discussion, and Councillor Kent, you had another comment around the schedule I'd like to share.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I'd just like to flag the March 13th being the beginning, the Monday of the March break. I just want to make sure that we have a discussion around that for folks that, and including staff that might have some challenges that particular week being the school holiday for Nova Scotia. So I don't specifically, but it is a consistent theme at most meeting times related to that are within any kind of March break or even sometimes the February break for the university students. So just raising that for a flag. Yeah.
Great observation. Anyone else find that they may have a conflict with March 13th? What we can do is circulate, maybe Elizabeth, circulate to the committee members and ask them if they perceive that they may have any issue with attending a meeting on March 13th. How's that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
And then if we know that we don't have quorum, we can try to reschedule. Thank you, Councillor Kent. Any other comments on our schedule? Hearing none, we'll call for the question.
Question?
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Great. We have no added items, and the date of the next meeting, well, it would have been pending what we decided today. So now we know it's March 13th, unless we have a concern around quorum. And just need a motion to adjourn, and we're all ready to go make sure we got our shovels ready for the snow.
Oh, right. Snow tonight.
Motion to adjourn, I believe I saw there by Councillor Kent. Thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy your Monday.
This is the best kind of committee. It's like